Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast. Here, part of the National Arena League. I am Jim Renier, the host of tonight's show. And to the people who are tuning in from Omaha, welcome. Welcome. Send the comments, send your questions, get it going. Coach Negron will be on to discuss all things Omaha Beef, as this episode is about the Omaha Beef. Again, let's get over the checklist for this episode before we get into the Omaha Beef. Remember, follow us on all social media platforms at NAL Football on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and there's another one out there. Just follow NAL. Come on. You know all the social media platforms. Instagram, that's where we go. There we go. But again, also, the shop is live. NALshop.com. Epic gear is dropping left and right. Go check that out. So far, from what I've been hearing behind the scenes, you fans are loving the shop. Remember, NALshop.com for more. Actually, not more information. Just go visit NALshop.com. Also, visit all information on all National Arena League teams at thenationalarenaleague.com or visit each team's website separately for more information for your favorite team. And remember, schedules are out, ticket sales are going through. Remember, contact your organizations to get a part of the program and also be a partner. Some of these teams are also offering that as well. Remember, visit all information from all National Arena League stuff at thenationalarenaleague.com. But no further ado, this show's dedicated to the Omaha Beef, so let's get the head man himself, head coach Brendan Negron. Hello, old friend. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you doing today?
It's a lovely Tuesday in a very wet Jacksonville.
It's wet in Omaha also. I think it's raining everywhere today.
Well, Coach, I think we've done this show multiple times with different, um, of course, different organizations behind the scenes. But you again have been busy everywhere. You've stopped at almost every restaurant known to man in the Omaha region. When are they going to build a statue? Are you running for mayor, seeing that in the plains in Omaha? Because it seems like you're everywhere. So how's that
There's
been treating you?
there's a food plan in my retirement, that's for sure. But no, I don't think I've earned the right to erect a statue yet. I think I got to win some titles here first. But look, Omaha's been great to me. I love it here. I love the city. I love the fans, the people. I love my home. I've just really taken to it, and it's been a really good off season so far. Tough day today, which I know we'll get into, but I'm ready for the season to start, Jim. I'm excited for football.
Well, I know we're entering November, and it's amazing. Like it just felt like 2025 started last week,
Yes,
and we're already entering November. In the blink of an eye,
crazy.
it'll be March, where indoor football is in full swing. It's amazing how fast time flies. And when people say, "Oh, man, we got 4 months until the regular season," well, in the blink of an eye, it's going to be there. And
Yeah.
in the blink of an eye, we're already talking about the championship game. It happens very quickly. But if you, as a coach, you're doing camps, you're doing community events, you're signing players, you're going out to schools. You don't even have a day off. So the off season technically is like the regular season, but you're not on the field. You're in the community, which it's also another type of game plan that you have to execute the right way so you get the fans into the arena come spring.
Absolutely, and perfect example. I'm actually doing this from Iowa West Sportsplex, which is our practice facility during the season. They hosted a trunk or treat tonight, so it was really nice to just set up the inflatable and our tables and give out candy to the kids in the Omaha and Council Bluffs communities. And look, that's a paramount component of any successful indoor team. League affiliation doesn't matter. If you want butts and seats and you want partners to come back, then you want to create a high character organization that wins off the field. And so that's what we strive to do in Omaha. We don't take any days off, and that comes from the top. I don't think my owner Ricky Burtz knows what a rest day is. But I wouldn't have it any other way, man. I mean, this is, at least here, we're very lucky that we're the only professional team in the state of Nebraska. So, we kind of have a responsibility to keep up the community activities and getting the players out there and getting me out there and stuff, because again, we're the only show in town, and we like that. So, it's been a fun off season. It's been busy, but I'll say it every chance I get. I can't wait for the season to start.
Well, the season starts, of course, in March. NAL season March 13th when your home gets Pueblo. But you have additional. You got that non-league game, but the
Yep.
schedule is out, the teams are up. You got the usual matchups against Sioux City. We're not going to talk about that, but you got new additions to teams and teams that, quite frankly, you can say you're not used to them because they used to play in other leagues. Now you get Salina coming in, Southwest Kansas. You get new faces, and well, you can't really say new faces, new places because we're in different leagues. But some of the coaches, community coaches, everyone knows each other. They've
Yeah.
all so you're playing Salina, you're playing Southwest Kansas, you're playing Pueblo, you're playing some new teams. Instead, we all know Sioux City. We all know the I-29 rivalry, but the upcoming schedule, how it's set up, how you feeling about it, and what you think the fans can expect from this version of Omaha Beef and the schedule.
I mean, as far as the schedule's concerned, I'm getting to play against high quality coaches. The league continues to level up our competition. I welcome that, right? Those guys are going to make me a better coach. Ron O'Neill's going to make me a better coach. Gary Thomas is going to make me a better coach. Rodney Blackshear's going to make me a better coach. Every coach in the league is going to make me better tomorrow than I am today. So I'm good with that. We don't duck competition. We want that. As far as this version of the Omaha Beef is concerned, look, for me, it's business as usual minus the results of the NAL championship. The expectation is for us to be right in the thick of things every year. I feel like we've reloaded and built a roster that's ready for that. Obviously, we got to get through training camp, get down to our final 25. But I love what we've done in the offseason, and that's a testament to my assistant. CJ Kane's been very active in that. Adam Loftus has been very active in being vocal about what he wanted to see on the defensive side of the ball. The guys that we brought back, that's a testament to the environment that we have here, right? I mean, I think 50% of my roster is returning guys, right? So I think that speaks a lot about the way we do it here. And look, the schedule is the schedule. We're going to play whoever is in front of us, and the expectations are clear here. I've heard coaches say, win all your games at home, go 500 on the road. I've heard other coaches say that I should be happy if an over under is put out and I'm only supposed to lose 2 games. Forget that. I go into every game with the expectation to win and win by a lot. And that's the message that I send to my players, and that's the message that I send to the rest of the league. I'm not here to not win championships, and frankly, I won't be here if I don't win championships. That's my owner's expectation. He wants to win on and off the field. So I really don't have any room for error.
Well, it's Omaha. It's
Yeah.
like I've talked to Ricky, and one thing I like to jab at Ricky because he is a Yankee fan. I say you're trying to resemble the Yankees. They high expectations every single year. It's World Series or bust for the New York Yankee organization, and he brings that mentality to Omaha, and he holds it to it. So, and me covering the league for the last couple of years, it's been a privilege of watching Omaha winning a couple of championships and playing another one. Um, and also, seems you have like a semi-target on your back almost every single year, and that's because of what this. I know it's a cliche and a term the Pittsburgh Steelers use it a lot. Standard is a standard, and a lot of organizations use that mindset because it's reality, championship or bust for any organization. Um, but that's one thing about Ricky. He holds up a high standard. You have gone from Carolina. You've been in championship teams. You've made it to playoffs. You made a championship run, so you know the expectations in Omaha. And
I do.
of course, you get some foes that want to take you down, especially the one that plays about an hour north of you in Sioux City. But
Well, look, that those games between Irv and me and Coach Lowe and their staff, they're always going to be dogfights. That's just the nature of the rivalry. I don't think it matters who's on the roster or where the game is played at. They're always going to be tough games. As far as I'm concerned, it's interesting, Jim. So we had our tryout this past weekend, and I always talk to the guys before. Um, and look, I have a path of or a trajectory, if you want to call it that, right? So, 2023, I won assistant coach of the year. 24, I won head coach of the year. Last year, I won a conference championship. So, I mean, do the math. That should tell you what the plan is for this upcoming season. I don't shy away from that either. Why do I have a target on my back? I don't know. I don't. I take that as a compliment. People want to put a target on my back. That's a good thing, right? That means I'm still wanted. So, look, I'm ready. I wanted this challenge. I tell everybody all the time. I feel the same way today that I did the day I got off the plane. It's a privilege and an honor to coach here. I don't take it lightly. So therefore, I don't take the expected results lightly either. And we're going to deliver. Look, I'm not a guarantee guy, but I guarantee you, I worked really hard in the off season. I know my assistants worked hard in the off season, and our front office worked hard in the off season. So the results and the expectations that are required, we're going to do everything we can to deliver on that. I love the roster we built, man. Love it.
Which,
Just love it.
speaking of the roster, we do have a couple of slides for the returning players that you have back, and I just want you to mention a couple of these guys. We don't have the whole entire slot of the whole team because we can go for an hour just describe each and every player. Uh, but you bring in a lot of key pieces back from that championship run last year, and get them on to this season as well. Uh, well, Coach, you have the opportunity to talk here.
Yeah, I mean,
On the
start
team
with
this year.
Jay Sean Washington, right? So I mean, he had an injury plagued year last year, fought through back injuries, but played throughout the season. He's got some get back that he wants to. He was actually at the event tonight, which was really nice. He's a local fixture here too. He loves the city. So one thing about Jay Sean, you'll see him at every event, and he don't miss an event. And that's just the type of player and person that he is. But he's got, if you look back at his stats from 2023, him and Draco Statham went back and forth on what could have been Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know what his sack numbers were. I want to say around 15, something like that. But he's got the ability to be a dominant force on our D line, and so he's excited about that. He's healthy. He's ready. He's in shape. I just can't wait to unleash fury on the rest of the league, right? Then you look at a guy like Terrence Jackson Jr. Look, this kid wants to play at a higher level. He's using Omaha as a vehicle to catapult himself to higher levels. That's the type of players we want, right? Again, local, loves the community, represents the team well. It's just all the right things that we want. And look, what I love about my secondary, if you look at it, I'd say probably 95% of it is local, right? I think everybody's coming back. Even the guys, look, even when we lost a couple guys to the IFL, we lost John Adams and we lost, DeWandre Crockett to Oregon. We just reload with guys that make up, in my opinion, the best secondary in the league. And then, what do I say about Junebug? Yeah, look, it's going to take you 3 or 4 years worth of podcasts for me to say his full name correctly.
No
So
one will.
yeah, we're gonna stick with Junebug, but he's come to me about being more of a leader, right? This is a guy that's got a full hand of rings, but he's come to me about being more of a leader and taking on a bigger role in our locker room to ensure that we finish the job that we didn't finish last season. So I can't be mad about that mindset. And here we are, like you said, we're in November, right? And he's already thinking that. Trey Dudley Giles, I got his name's 3 words, and then I got 3 words. Hall of Famer, right? That's Trey Dudley Giles. He's all-time leader in interceptions in Omaha. He'll just increase that total. This upcoming season, and I've heard him say in a team meeting, "My job is to teach everybody how to be a professional." He does an amazing job. Unfortunately, John Adams, he's not no longer signed with us. He signed with Tulsa, but did it the right way. I want to be really clear about that. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. John Adams did it the right way. Picked up the phone, said, "Coach, I have an opportunity to go play in the IFL," which, as of now is considered an elevation, and we respect that. He gets to play for a championship winning coach in Marvin Jones. The whole staff has got champions on it. Got Billy Back on there, Anson Yarborough. I mean, these are examples of coaches that I emulate, right? So I'm not mad about John going to Tulsa to do his thing. And then we bring Chris Perry back home. I'm not completely versed on why Chris Perry spent a couple of years away from here, but sometimes you gotta, test things in your career. But he ain't going nowhere. Chris Perry's going to retire as a member of the Omaha Beef. Unless let me just say, Chris Perry looks like he could play another 10 years, Jim. So he could elevate tomorrow, but he'll still come back and finish his career. But look, every one of those guys that you just showed are here because A, they want to be here, but B, we want them here. And, that makes for bad news for the rest of the league because we want this for the city of Omaha more than anything else.
And also, I want you to share some words of the news that happened that struck the Omaha Beef family this with a player that Omaha itself knows very well.
So, yeah, I'm going to do my best not to get choked up. I didn't know Paul very well. Um, uh, when my players unanimously mourn publicly and privately about a person they shared a locker room with, it speaks volumes about the type of guy that he was. I haven't been around one person that's had anything negative to say about Paul Ortiz. His smile was infectious. I know I can't curse on the podcast. He kicked the shit out of the ball, so FCC can get me for that one. But I mean, it's just unanimous, Jim. His positive impact on the team. Um, and then not knowing, he from what we hear, it was a hiking accident. I don't want to elaborate too much out of protection for the family, but just too soon, man. It's too soon, and I don't wish death upon anybody, but I like I said in my post today, sometimes I can't come up with rhyme or reason why God takes certain people. So, you know. My prayers, condolences with the family. We're going to do some things on our end, to honor him and tribute him. But to all my players and his former teammates and guys watching, I'm so proud of you for the way you've represented him today. I'm sure he's very proud of the way you represented him today. He was quintessential Omaha Beef, and he's not going to be forgotten. Paul has one of the biggest kicks in team history, and that's going to help him not be forgotten. But I think what's really going to help is the type of man that he was. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But thank you to everybody that's said prayers, condolences, comments. We see them all, and we don't take those lightly either.
Yeah, I wanted to give an opportunity for you to share that to the fans of the NAL about what his connection was to Omaha. And again, life is short. Be blessed every day you wake up for the man upstairs. Um, had an opportunity to cover Paul, and I know the kick that you're talking about. That's gonna be remembered for I have to say one of the best games I've seen in the league.
Without a question.
So he was a part of it. So um, I know that's a hard to segue, but I wanted to give you the moment for Omaha to show appreciation for him himself.
I thank you for that, and I think our fan base and his beef family and his family at home thanks you for that too, Jim. So all good.
Well, also, I know we have a special guest that's going to join us here pretty soon, so stay tuned. Any events coming up from here till Christmas or to the season or to the well, you're at the event right now, but any of them coming up that are going to be fan centric for the fans to come out to support the Omaha Beef.
Yeah, so on November 8th, we got Omaha Prime Dancer tryouts. This will be my first one that I'm present for. And I hear it's pretty intense and that we get big crowds and we're expecting an enormous number of dancers. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. Look, we want to win titles in the dance category too, right? So we take these auditions seriously. They just had a prep class. I think they had a prep class day after our tryouts on Sunday. So they're not fooling around. That's exciting. That's November 8th, and then I think we'll take a little bit of a break as we go into the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays and our version of a break. I don't know if that's much of a break, but we're already going to start maybe some Zoom meetings meetings with guys and stuff, and just get them acclimated to the rules and things like that. Ahead of camp, and then before you know it, camp will be here. But the big event, November 8th, stocks and bonds, Omaha, Nebraska. Check-in, I believe, is 9:30. Come. You're gonna dance. You're gonna think you got to do a routine. There's an interview. There's all that stuff. It's we got our dance sponsors, Spotlight Bridal, Andrea Malecki with State Farm Insurance, and Jazzercise. So it's going to be a pretty big event. From what I understand, it's going to be bigger than my football tryouts. And you know what? I'm offended by. I take that personally. But from a front office position, I'm excited about it. So looking forward to getting everybody out to stocks and bonds and building the 2026 dance team.
Well, you're slacking, coach, if you're getting jealous of the dance
I
team.
mean, listen, they got the numbers, man. I can't deny it. Look, I'm actually excited. Look, in Carolina, we had some pretty big dance tryouts over the times I was there, and it sounds like this one may be even bigger. And I just get to be a fan and be supportive, so I'm good with that.
All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, right after this, we'll be joined by our special guest from an interesting standpoint. Well, not well. I won't tell you. We'll be back after this. And the special guest is no other than the NAL commissioner, Brandon.
Oh, my boss is here. Oh no,
I'm not. I'm not your boss. Your boss is Mr. Burt. So, but how's it going, gentlemen?
What's up, Commish?
That's a Tuesday.
Oh, I like to pop on and do a couple of these every now and then when I have some interesting news. We like to release a couple things. So we've got a new initiative coming out. I kind of want to let everybody know about. The press release and everything's going to come out tomorrow, obviously. But since you were on the air tonight, Jim, I figured I'd go ahead and drop in and kind of let the fans who are watching hear it, and anybody that gets up early enough and listens in the morning can catch on to what we're talking about too. So I think it's kind of a cool situation. And it kind of fits. I mean, obviously, Brandon, here with you, kind of what's going on with it, sort of, and it's a good thing to have you on here to kind of talk about some of that too. So,
Yeah.
So I'll just pretty much go to it, Jim. So what we're doing is the National Arena League is creating a new initiative called NAL Life. And basically what the program is meant to do is we're working with the acronym. Obviously, everybody has acronyms for all that stuff, but ours stands for leadership, inspiration, future, and empowerment. And what that basically is doing is we're not really trying to go crazy with anything or do anything out of the normal, but we want to put our athletes in a better situation for on and off the field and also build the community relations. So we're kind of modeling it after, and I mean, I guess you would call it maybe the NBA cares. NFL has multiple, so you can't really pick one, but something like that. Even baseball has the Together program, MLB. So similar to that, to where we can get our obviously athletes in the community, get the community involved, but also give them things afterwards. And part of that is basically working to, and I'll just give you the mission statement. Everything has to have a mission statement. Might be the easiest way. But the NAL Life exists to develop complete athletes, leaders, mentors, and citizens who inspire change, invest in their communities, and build their future beyond football. And we're doing this. We're going to do it with providing a couple things. And I'm going to go with the first one here. Actually, I'm going to leave the first one off just because that's kind of a key part, and I'll let Brandon talk about that one. But there's going to be, skipping to the second part, mentorship, obviously working with these guys. A lot of the things that they learn as a professional athlete, there's structure, there's organization, but also starting to teach them. I know we've had athletes who want to end up coaching and want to get into leadership roles and everything of that nature. And this is an opportunity for staffs, organizations to work with them and teach them those kind of things. It also helps them to become more well-rounded. Obviously, we do work some in the community, and each organization is different, but this is going to allow them to develop in their community that they're in more. They're going to learn to work with the organizations outside of just their team. They'll get in with the community as far as nonprofits. I know, which one's the big one for you guys there, Brandon? I know you have one.
The big nonprofit we have here.
Yes.
I mean, we got a few of them. We worked with Ronald McDonald House. We work with Nebraska Warriors. I mean, we've got multiple. This year, we're working with an entity called Sammy Strong, which is dedicated to finding a cure for pediatric brain cancer. Right. So we've got a few that we work with here. But historically, it's been a lot of Nebraska Warriors and things related to veteran services and stuff.
Okay. So like I said, they've got theirs locally and they're going to help them with those things. Now, what it's going to do is the whole concept is to empower these guys to kind of take ownership of what they're doing, not only with personal development, but in their professional development. Because we all know, let's be honest, we're not going to play football forever. I mean, I started out, if anybody watched Mike McCoy get all teared up at the Salina conference, Mike McCoy signed me back in 2009 in Wichita. I'm far from being an athlete playing football anymore, from coaching or anything like that. So at some point, we have to help them develop as individuals. So that's a key part of this. Now, one of the main things that we did bring on that's going to help some of these guys, and this is what I wanted to save this part till last. It's kind of the first factor of what we're doing, but I held off on it because I wanted Brandon to talk about it. But we have going to work with getting these guys opportunities for education, and what that means is we kind of have a unique situation of where we have worked and partnered with South New Hampshire University. I just call it by the initials typically. So we have a partnership with South New Hampshire University that is going to allow our athletes to not only work and gain an education, but also there's programs that they've offered us. And I obviously will go into detail on those later on of what they've got. But they are having the opportunity to get the educational portion needed while they're on site. There's some benefits of being an NAL athlete that they're going to get when they get to camp and things of that nature. And like I said, the reason I wanted to come tonight and talk about it was because I wanted, Brandon to give his experience because he's taken classes at South New Hampshire. So give a little background on it, Brandon,
Yeah,
so you can do it.
so I have, I decided to go back to school and pursue my secondary education, and I went through SNHU. I've since transferred. No slide on SNHU, just transferred to Bellevue because it's local here. But Coach Fred Price, who was with me in Carolina while he was coaching, graduated from SNHU and completed his secondary degree, right? And so for us, this just allows us to match what we talk about when we talk about caring about the players beyond football, right? I think everybody would agree on this call, and anybody watching, we know that the indoor game is not a financial windfall. You're using it hopefully as a vehicle to elevate to higher levels of football, but that's not easy, right? There's a very small percentage of guys that go from the indoor ranks to the CFL or the UFL or the NFL, and it's no slight on their talent. There's only so many positions to go around. So what are you going to do afterwards, right? Where are you going to, look at where you are in your career and commit to, all right, I can keep playing, but it's time for me to kind of have a plan, for what I'm going to do with my life after football. This affords us the opportunity to give them a vehicle to do that while playing in the league. So I think it's great. I think we have coaches within our league that I know for a fact are committed to player development beyond football. I know in Omaha we take a lot of pride when players say that they'll play a season here and now they want to form a life here. In the off season, many of our players from last season have done that. Many of our players from previous seasons have done that. So this adds an educational component. And look, I'll tell you this: for someone that looks for every reason in the world to not have time to do something because there's just never enough hours in the day for me. The SNHU can be done by anyone, right? That you can take one class, you can take two classes, you can do it online. It's all structured out for you. They have a great system for structuring out your credits, and based on what you're trying to accomplish, whatever your degree is. So this is big time, right? And I would hope that anybody watching, even from competing leagues, instead of having something negative and getting butthurt about it, would see the positive that we're trying to do for players across the board, right? At some point, it's got to be bigger than football. So I'm proud to be a part of it. Kudos to our commissioner and our special assistant for working together to put this in place. I could tell you Omaha's all in. We're going to do everything we can to make the program successful and to thrive out here with our athletes.
And Jim, I'll tell you, one of the great things that we actually are working not only on the athlete side, but in our partnership with SNHU is they're working with us with individuals who are in their programs already, who are interested in getting into the sports world. So that's the great part. And they have, being that they're online, they do have their one campus, obviously, but they're online, they're all over. And we've got people that are already reaching out that just want to be a part of it because it's an opportunity to learn professional sports, be involved, and have that as and let's be honest, same as with playing football. You want to get to the highest level, but you've got to build a resume at some point. And Brandon, you talked about one of your athletes building his resume with you guys this year. That's what these individuals want. So we're going to be a platform and an ability for not only our athletes, but their students to work with us as a league and build their base and education and knowledge in a different area than they might be used to.
And that's how I got in the industry. Like, you have to put everyone's goal is the NFL, NHL, MLB, the major leagues. But it's a competitive industry, and you have to have experience, and you have to build that up. You just can't go to the NFL, go, I want a job. They'll be like, no, you got to earn it. So having this opportunity for interns to get into it, it will open doors to maybe not just football, but other sporting leagues, or even gets you into a position where you don't even be in a sporting league. You be like a spokesman for a team. You become the head of media there. So there's many opportunities that come. Just get your foot in the door. Internships are always fun. They can hurt you pocket wise because that's an internship for you, but it's a great possibilities in the future is always bright when you take the first step towards a career change.
But Jim, one thing I'll add, because Brandon said this, he mentioned coaching. A lot of players, want to be coaches in their second half of their careers, whatever it may be.
Right.
One of the nice things about going back to school is there are a lot of courses based on leadership and how to run the business side of what we do. You can't just come off the field and be a coach. It's a difficult transition from player to coach. This will give them an opportunity to maybe take courses even while they're playing that will enhance their abilities to transition to a coach easier. And look, I don't think I'm that old, but I do hope that some younger coaches come along at some point and put me out to pasture. I want them to be prepared for the evolving of the game, for the evolving of the business. One of the reasons why I do think I'm successful is because of my understanding of the business side as much as I understand the X's and O's. So this partnership with SNHU is going to give a lot of these guys the opportunity to dive into that, and vice versa. Like Brandon said, you'll now have students at SNHU, that maybe we can level up, what we have within our league, within Brandon's front office as he's building the league office. It's a real step up for the league, and I think it shows, an evolution of the direction that our league is going.
Any more on this? I know there's a lot more behind the scenes that comes with
Yeah.
this, but
there's other parts
the more
of it.
is that Brandon, he didn't mention that he eats like 14 protein bars a day. He could still play. So I don't know why he even said that. He knows he could still play.
No, not at all. I was about 30 pounds less when I played.
He's chiseled out of armor. Our commissioner's built like Incredible Hulk.
The crazy part is people don't believe it, and it's been a long time. My first year, the person who taught me the position that I played the most was Clinton Solomon, and you can ask him about it. I talked to him about that at their press conference or at another thing we were doing. So sorry, that was last year. I talked to him last year when I was down there at the couple of their games, and so I learned the game from Solo. I played with Tatum. Good Lord. I mean, just going back to people in the league all over the place that I know and have done. So, man, I'm an old man now. So it's past my time to do all that. Let the young guys do it and just
Well, that's not too bad guys to learn from. Those are two Hall of Famers, so you're doing all right.
Yeah. So
that's a good point. Coach, protein bars. We don't want to go on you there, Coach. You visit every single restaurant in Omaha.
I do like protein, but I like it in steak form, and there's plenty of steak and burgers. Actually, it's Tuesday. There's a $7.99 special at Winchester's. I might be headed there after this.
You have one favorite treat? What was your favorite treat?
Stella's, man. Stella's, the patty melt at Stella's.
I was thinking about the other one. What was it? When I was out there, Ricky was telling me about it. The special one.
At Kong Burger on Wednesdays, the $16.99 sirloin.
He's gonna go through every special they've got in the entire city.
I'll see you there at 12:30 tomorrow. Don't you worry about a thing.
Yeah, too much. That's too much steak over there. Come on. But
it's amazing. It's unbelievable. I got no iron deficiencies whatsoever. Plenty of red meat. It's all good.
Hey,
But
I just want to see. I want to see you in Omaha this year, or in Amarillo, go for the big steak challenge like you wanted to when
I'm
you were
gonna
down there.
do it. I'm gonna do it. Now, what kind of coaching performance I put on the field the following day, I don't know. They're talking about maybe CJ will have to call the plays that game, but I intend on doing the 72-ounce steak challenge.
72 ounces? Are you kidding me?
Yes, it can be done. Many have done it. There's a board. I want to be on the board when I leave Amarillo for the steak challenge and for winning a football game.
That could feed a family for a whole week. 72
Wow.
ounces. I'm just saying.
Don't threaten me with a good time. It's going to be exciting.
Hey, coach, come on. Kamish, any other updates from the league side of things?
Not right now. Like I said, we've got things that we're working on, but obviously you've found this out through some of the stuff. We try to make sure that we can provide everything we tell our fans we're going to do. So we don't want to put stuff out there that's not going to happen. Yeah, I probably, I think Ricky's favorite phrase every time I hear him go on any talk, podcast, or anything is this, Negron, and you'll laugh. I mean, I guess I could probably say this and not get in trouble. We do already have our first expansion franchise for 2027. That is already done, and it's vetted, valued, and a good group. So that will be coming out whenever they're ready to announce that. So it's not on us, it's on them. But they're finalizing everything with their arena. I was on the phone with them today. And yeah, that should be a good one for when it comes out. So we've already started the 2027 route to do it the right way.
By the way, they want it streamed there, Coach Negron.
Done, Brian. Consider it done. I got no problem with that. I'm taking this one home.
I'm still waiting the YouTube series. I'm just saying.
That's the retirement plan. We'll work on that later. I got some.
I
some
probably
rings
know
to
a
win
sponsor
first.
for it. Just saying. Well, news is up. Where can fans reach Omaha for tickets and any other things that are
Yeah.
Omaha Beef related?
As always, you can visit beeffootball.com or you can give us a call at the office 402-346-BEEF or 346-2333. Give us a call, either myself, Ricky, or our Director of Football Operations, Jeff, pick up the phone. Always looking for great partners. Season tickets should be going on sale. Actually, they're already on sale. I think we start printing them out maybe in about a month or so. You've never experienced the game until you've experienced it in the slaughterhouse. So again, go visit beeffootball.com. All you need to know about Omaha is right there. Signings, partnerships, tickets, you name it. You're going to want to be part of the ride because this one's going to be pretty fun.
Brandon? Oh, I got two Brandons. I can't say that. Kamish?
No, man. Like I said, I'm just excited for what's happening right now with the league and what these guys, as far as owners, coaches, staffs, are putting in and how things are progressing. I think there's a lot more interesting news, big news that's going to be coming out over the next couple weeks. I know you and I have talked about some of it, and Brandon, you know some as well, obviously. And I just think it's going to be great for the fans. I really am excited for what we're going to put on the field this year.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll head back to the state of Colorado with another fan favorite head coach who loves to come on the show. I have my co-host right here by work, Commissioner, is Brandon Negron. He's been on like 27 shows. Just FYI.
Is that the real number? That's not a real number.
Over under 27 and a half. We're setting that there so Vegas can bet on it.
All right.
It
might be close. Yeah, you might be right.
Pretty close there, Coach. Just saying. For more news and updates for the National Arena League, visit thenationalarenaleague.com. Also, Kamish, any updates on the NAL shop? Anything else coming?
No, I know that we've put some stuff out. The mini helmets came out. They went out like crazy as soon as they got released. There will be, I believe, in the next couple weeks, we'll start doing some jersey drops. I know we're letting teams get those taken care of. So those are supposed to be getting dropped. So we'll have customizable fan jerseys and replica full, authentic replica jerseys that are supposed to be getting dropped. So that's pretty much, I think, the next two things, if I'm not mistaken, that'll go out. It should be coming out pretty soon. And I think there's going to be, I think that they've got some Black Friday deals that they're going to put out, but I don't know what they are yet. Obviously, we'll get with all that and have it all out there for the fans so they can see it.
Correction. Southwest next week. I'm getting my weeks confused. I think we're already in freaking November already. My bad. I apologize. I'm getting too excited. Blink an eye will be March. Like, Jesus. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that's head coach Brandon Negron for the Omaha Beef. That's the commissioner of the NAL, Brandon Eichert. I am Jim Mernier. We'll be back next week for more Inside the Walls podcast.
See you guys.
See ya.
I earned my degree online at Southern New Hampshire University.
After I graduated, I started a new job.
I was finally able to realize my purpose and passion in life.
Pursuing my degree gave me so many opportunities to grow. Don't just think about yourself. Think about the lives that you can really change.
SNHU laid the groundwork.
I am doing what I've always wanted to do.
If I was back at the beginning, I would choose SNHU all over again.